So I had taken videos of Paddock 2 and 3 on the day I moved the pigs, and I guess there's gremlins in my phone or something, but all those videos are gone, so now I need to retake them because at a minimum I want to document kind of the development of this silvopasture area. So this will be Paddock 2 after I move the pigs off of it, take 2. So as always, Paddock start at home base. And you can see it's pretty beat up in here. But I use sawdust and wood chips and really any kind of carbon I can get just to keep that mud pit from getting too bad. When it gets rainy in there, it becomes a total mess. But Paddock 2 had the same laneway that I used for Paddock 3. So now Paddock 3 goes off that way. Paddock 2 was over that way. So let's walk that. I let Paddock 2 get pretty incredibly beat up because I'm trying to really get that place kind of back to bare dirt. And then you can see it in a lot of places it worked. But I still have these rose bushes over here, and they're stubborn. So let me step over the fence here. Got a couple good wallows. They went right down that line, so you can see a very clear grazing line along those tree tubes. But nice wallows in there. I need to come in with my weed whacker with the circular saw blade on it and just take out these bushes, and then I'll get lots more grass out here to run cows through. You can see the areas where I put the feeder. There's the circle from the feeder. They get extra beat up, and you can see the ground starting to crack. We haven't had rain. It's heavy clay soil, so we've had significant rain, but you can see the cracks in there, right? So this area is beat to death, but it won't take long. It'll take longer than the rest of the paddock to recover, but it's going to be pretty good. We have an enormous wallow over here that the pigs made, already starting to draw frogs in. See, there goes a frog right there. Good timing. So this will be a nice little vernal pool. It's going to green up all around here and provide frog habitat probably all winter long. And then the pigs will reuse this wallow next year. So now we'll walk the perimeter. Already grass is starting to recover here. But it'll take, we're just in kind of mid-August right now. So it's going to take a little bit. So you can see where the fence was. It was right along there. Green on one side, brown on the other. You can see where I had the waterers. I had a waterer there and a waterer there. Pick trees that you don't intend to keep. Put the waterers against them. The pigs will, we have to worry because the pigs are going to expose roots, right? So if it's a tree you don't want anyway, you don't have to worry about it. And then use the same trees year after year. When I cut this guy, I'm going to cut him. Technically that was a keeper, but I'll have to keep a different tree. But I'll cut that thing at like 6 foot high. Now I have a nice scratching post stump and a permanent water barrel holder until the stump rots out, which will be a long time. That tree will stay alive for years and, just put out little shoots, and I'll just cut them off. So come down the edge. You can see where the fence was because I still got all this stilk grass here, but on the inside the pigs basically eliminated it. Nice grazing. I already came through and chopped some of these thorn bushes, so they're starting to die. Next spring, they'll be down to the ground. The snow will take them down and everything else, and then the grass will come up through them and they'll just rot. I just got to keep up with the new growth when it happens. This area here already drawing frogs. I can see them jumping down there. And these pools serve other purposes too. I'm sure all kinds of wildlife comes through here and gets a little drink. Makes it better deer hunting territory. But with the clay soil, they make all these ponds. 2 benefits. Now I get a pond, little, biodiversity out here. But also, this used to all be a swamp. Now, firm ground. I can walk a cow on here. So when I bring the cows in, they'll drink from the ponds or whatever, but they'll also be able to walk and eat all the grass that's going to grow in here before I run pigs. So that's another benefit of letting the pigs make as many little pools as they want to. And then I just cut trees and leave them lay. They rot over time. And the pigs like to get in there and eat the grubs and stuff that occupy fallen logs. Here's another big wallow. You can see their rooting activity. There goes a couple frogs in there. But their rooting activity right up to the fence, right? So they dug this hole. This was a small wallow from last year. They made it quite a big one. So that's fine. It'll stay like that. Pigs will reuse it next year. This winter I'm going to cut out all of these thorn bushes. This will be a nice open corner. Probably take down a couple of these maples too for my firewood. And then we'll have a nice chunk of grass again for cows. Because feeding cows is part of the game. Next year I'll also not put them so close to my driveway. It stresses out the pigs a little bit. Stresses out people driving down the driveway. Stresses me out because I think people are scaring my pigs. So probably put this another 10 feet in there. Leave a little buffer of tall grass here. Another wallow. This willow tree doing really well. Planted this guy a couple years ago. Heavy drinker. So this area also, this is a very wet area here. You can see standing water all over the place. This guy should help change that. Make this also a grazable area. I planted a bunch of chestnuts. That's what all these tubes are. My plan, I really like this oak tree, but he doesn't give me any acorns yet, but I want these chestnuts to get up. If they ever become dominant, I'm gonna cut that oak down to give these guys room to canopy out. You can see I already got them poking out of the top of the tube in places. A whole bunch of them. This guy here really shot up this year. So this little walnut next to him is gonna lose. That guy's gonna become firewood, and this guy's gonna thrive. And then that's the end of Paddock 2. You can see the walnuts are already starting to drop. Pigs won't eat them when they look like this. But once this guy turns black, they'll crunch this whole thing up. So let them do it. So that's Paddock 2. Pretty big change from if you watched the Paddock 2 before the pigs were in here. It's not a pretty big change. It's an enormous change. And next year, a lot of these trees are going to be on the ground.